Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to Watchers Podcast with your hosts, Brad and Colson.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Why are you doing this to us? Because you were home.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told it was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's me, Big Brad, here with Little Colson, or maybe it's Little Brad and Big Colson, I'm not sure.
I think it's that way, especially lately.
How's it going today?
Good.
I'm super excited for this episode.
Me too.
It's a movie we've both been waiting for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into that, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good.
It's a normal fall day.
Yeah.
Nice and cool. Weather's been perfect. It's raining, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fall.
It's awesome.
It is. It's
so
great.
much better. Yeah, you?
I'm doing okay.
It's good.
Had kind of an interesting weekend.
Yeah.
Had to get a wisdom tooth pulled on Friday.
That's right.
So it took them close to an hour to get the tooth out.
Wow.
Because the tooth had broke.
Oh, shit.
So they were like kind of digging around in there and wiggling and pulling and it just
Did you feel anything, or were you lucky enough to not have any?
They were like, they put the numbing in and then they were like, okay, if you feel anything, let us know.
Right.
And they made I don't know if they made like a little incision or something, but I was like, I can feel that.
Oh.
And they're like, okay. And they numbed me some more. So they loaded me up. But yeah, it didn't hurt or anything at the time.
That's good.
And it's just like in the mornings, it's like really stiff, like my jaw when I wake up. But
right.
Overall pain, very, very minimal.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those can be tough. Sometimes you have to actually get like surgery to get them cut out.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I got a tooth removed, and he was kind of like cranking on it a little bit.
Oh, it's the
and
worst.
you can it's right there, like you can hear it. It's even closer than mine was to your ear.
Yeah.
Like mine was on the top too, but yours, I still have my wisdom teeth, but yeah, you can he was kind of cranking, and then you can hear it and feel.
Yeah.
You don't really feel it, but and then out it came. And he told me, he's like, you may feel, you may get like, he called them like bone, like tooth fragments still.
Yeah. Spurs.
And I got one. Like almost a year later, or 8 months later, it was like, what is that? And then I just kind of grabbed it and pulled it out, and it was like a piece of bone.
That's
or tooth.
crazy.
Yeah. Didn't hurt at all, but weird.
Yeah, whenever I was getting it done, they were like talking about blood clots and
right.
like dry socket.
Yeah.
I was like, these are the grossest things you could be saying right now.
Awful. Yeah. So, well, that's good. At least the pain, I assume you had, that's why you would have got it.
Yeah,
removed.
it felt like shit.
So, yeah, always better then.
Yeah.
Good. Glad that worked out for you.
Yeah, so if I sound any different today, it's probably why.
That's right.
Yeah, besides that, I got some stuff watched.
Okay.
I haven't been watching a lot all summer, but catching up now.
That's good.
I also watched Old.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
If there was a different director, maybe some better acting.
Right.
Like, there's a pretty good movie there. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was just,
the more I like it, I like the we won't spoil it.
No.
But I liked the idea of it. But
Yeah.
I can see your point, maybe some better acting. But...
Yeah, it seems like M. Night usually has like a really good idea.
Right.
Sometimes he doesn't quite stick the landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I'd put this in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Me
worth
too.
a watch.
Yeah, it's better than some of his stuff, for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, not as good as his best.
No,
definitely.
It's no happening, that's for
That's
sure.
right.
I watched Squid Game.
Okay.
Finished all that. It's good.
That has kind of taken over the world.
Yeah.
That's pretty well all I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I don't know if I will. But, yeah.
It's good. If anyone has seen it and liked it, I'd recommend watching like Battle Royale probably next. It's a movie that's pretty brutal. This one, it's good. I don't know how to rate it. Like it's good.
Okay.
I don't understand the hype.
Yeah.
Like it's really huge.
Yeah.
But to me, it was good.
Just not...
I'm not losing my mind over it.
Right, yeah, not mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I watched the first 5 episodes of the I Know What You Did Last Summer show.
Okay, yeah,
on
you messaged
Prime.
me about that, said it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it better than the actual I Know What You Did Last Summer movie.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of that.
I like the movie.
Yeah?
I like both of them. Not the third one. There is a third one. Did you
Is
know
there
that?
really?
I'll always know what you did last summer. And it was straight to video, and it is fucking horrendous.
I can only imagine.
But now, have you watched the Scream series at all? The
TV show?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I haven't either. I watched a little bit just to see the mask because it was different. But no, I'm interested if they're comparable or not or whatever. But
yeah,
I wonder.
And on the topic of Scream, new trailer dropped.
Yeah.
You didn't watch it?
I did not. I watched 15 seconds. That's normally my tap. I don't watch horror trailers. Trailers, you can say it doesn't spoil, but you see people getting killed.
Yeah.
So well, this person's going to get killed. Maybe there's a twist. Maybe they don't get killed. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't watch them.
Yeah.
I avoid normal trailers for the most part, but horror ones I can't.
Yeah.
So I did not watch it. But did you?
I did.
Okay.
And you're probably better off not watching it because instead of just being like a regular trailer, I find a lot of movie trailers lately, they'll start with like a whole scene from the movie.
Right. Yeah.
This one does that too.
Okay.
A part that would have been really cool to see when you're watching
the
it.
intro, like it's gonna be the opening scene where like the doors are unlocking, smart home type. Yeah, that's where I stopped it.
She's like lock, unlock, locked, unlocked, and I was like, why would they put that whole scene there? Like it,
and that's it. It chapter 2 did that. They did like a 3-minute scene.
Yeah. That's
now
right.
that one's a little bit different because it's a remake, so if you've seen the original, she goes back to that house where she thinks it's her house or whatever. But still, they show that whole chunk,
and that's probably the creepiest part of that whole movie.
Yeah, it's just weird that they do that. I agree with you, and I'm thinking that's probably going to be the opening scene, so people could say, "Oh, it's going to be over in 15-20 minutes anyway."
Yeah, but
it's still, you're getting a lot of, I don't know. I don't like. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, it's too much.
People don't have house phones anymore, so they're making this kind of work with smart home.
Yeah,
like you can lock everything with your phone now. You can start your car with your phone.
Yeah,
so it's going to be a little bit different, but cool.
Yeah, is that what they did with the new Child's Play?
They did. Yeah, it was all very. It wasn't voodoo. It was like microchips.
Yeah,
like it's smart.
Yeah,
so. It makes more sense.
Yeah. Dewey and Gail and Sydney are all back.
Right.
They said...
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the first 4, they made it. They're the only people in horror movie history who have cleared 4 fucking movies.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
It is.
Anyway.
But it's weird because apparently Billy and Stu are back. Like, according to all the stuff that I've seen, like the news and stuff. They don't show up in the trailer at all. So I doubt they'll have much of a part.
Yeah, I think you had talked about that like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I suspecting after hearing that they may do a flashback, de-age type thing.
Maybe.
To make that murder of her mother that we find out in Scream 3, I think, that they did it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking, if they're going to have them in it, because they're clear. I mean, they're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he got shot in the fucking forehead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're dead. But
I hope if they do that and DH them, that they actually put Billy's goatee on him.
Yeah, his goatee from the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe they'll just do like Jedi ghosts.
Yeah.
Show up like influencing the new killer.
Exactly.
Be like, come on, no, do it.
One on the left shoulder, one on the right.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, one other trailer came out. I don't know if you've seen this one either. The Black Phone.
No.
Looks
Horror
fantastic.
Movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same guy that directed Sinister.
Okay.
Is doing this.
That's cool.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke's in it.
Oh, nice.
He plays this fucking creepy guy, like, that's abducting children in his van.
Oh.
And
wow.
He kind of has, like, this weird, almost Joker vibe to him.
Okay.
Like, and his face is super, super pale. He has, like, shaggy long hair and big glasses on.
I like it.
He's super creepy.
That's good.
Yeah, so he abducts a kid, puts him in a room, and there's a black phone on the wall.
Okay.
And it's not connected to anything, but the kid can start hearing the ghosts of all the other kids.
Oh.
And they're telling him how to get out.
Oh, that's interesting.
It looks really
good. That's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Tom Savini and Jason Baker worked on the mask, because Ethan Hawke wears this mask sometimes in it. Super cool mask, too. He has, like, this big, creepy, like, grin on the mask and, like, devil horns.
Okay.
It's nice. It's really well done.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
And it's weird with me, because I can't say I never watch horror trailers, because I watched the Antlers trailer.
Yeah.
You know, I find I'll watch, and then when I'm like, that's enough, I'll just stop it.
I do that too.
So that's probably what I'll do with this one. I'll check it out.
I watched the first couple of minutes, and then I'm like, okay, that's
enough.
It's like, I know I'm in.
Yeah.
That's what I did with The Dark and the Wicked.
Right.
And I've watched the Antlers trailer too, actually, but it doesn't give too much away.
No, I didn't. And I'll watch teasers. Teasers are, a little bit different. You get 30 seconds or a minute of something. I'll do that all day.
Yeah.
So Spiral and stuff like that, I watched them all. It doesn't show very much, but enough that you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I get the feel and the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, this looks interesting.
Exactly. That's all you need.
Yeah. Before we get into our review, I want to tell everybody there's another podcast out there called Reel Me In, a movie podcast. Or a movie podcast.
Okay.
Is the official name.
Right.
It's hosted by Chase Lee. He has a co-host who's not there at the moment, but I'm hoping comes back, named Joel Copeling. Great show. They're super, super smart when it comes to movies and breaking them down. He is also going to be reviewing Halloween Kills. So go check it out.
Awesome.
He's a good guy, funny show. I like it a lot.
Good.
You will too. So yeah. The movie we've been waiting years for.
Literally 1 full year.
Yep.
Because we should have been talking about Halloween Ends right now.
That's right.
But instead we're talking Halloween Kills, which later is better than never.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, initial thoughts. What did you think?
Well,
I guess we didn't give the synopsis or any of that.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
I'm too excited to talk about this one.
So, directed by David Gordon Green, stars the same people. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie, Judy Greer as Karen, Andy Matichak as Allison. They're all returning. Everybody's returning. I'm pretty sure everybody signed a 3-movie deal.
I think so.
So that nothing could come out like, hey, this person didn't sign the 3rd movie. That means they're not in it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're all back.
Yeah. It has a 6.1
right
on IMDb.
And that's, this is the opening weekend. So by the time this episode comes out, this may be higher or lower.
Yes.
It's very, very new. Literally been out for 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
So.
And hopefully you're all going to see this.
Yeah.
Because this episode's going to have lots of spoilers.
Spoiler, for sure. So the plot, the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode continues in the next thrilling chapter of the Halloween series.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're gonna spoil it, like he said. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. If you don't give a shit, then listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Runtime, hour 46. Right in the norm of these movies, it seems.
Flew by, I found.
Yeah, I did too.
I figured this was like a 90-minute movie.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was over, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I even sat through the credits.
That's right. Now, I watched Halloween and Halloween leading into Halloween Kills.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched 78, 18, and now this one just to refresh everything, get it back.
Yep.
So yeah, I will say right away, I did enjoy it.
Me too.
Okay. So yeah, we haven't talked.
No.
You asked me before you saw it, you're like, give me something.
Yeah,
and
just
I was
good
like,
or bad.
Not happening. So yeah, we both enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now I guess we'll talk about
Can't wait.
the things. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first note that I made, okay, well, no, let me say something else.
Okay.
I watched this on Peacock.
Yes.
I did not go to the theater.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you know me, I have horrible experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there, fucking on the edge of my seat, literally leaning forward as the movie starts. The Universal thing goes with Blumhouse and everything. And what do I hear? A bag of chips open and a crunch. And I just slowly look over at my wife, who, it's not a fucking Lay's chip. It's not a Dorito. It's a Miss Vicky chip.
Oh.
Kettle cooked.
What were you thinking, Coley?
I just glared. It was like, really? We don't go to the theater to avoid this shit, and now you're doing it right in my goddamn ear. Anyway, it was funny. But
I will mention, too, my story about watching this movie. I went to a drive-in movie theater.
Yeah.
Super excited to watch it outside on a big screen.
Mm-hmm.
It was a double feature with Jaws.
Fucking
I
awesome.
was like, this is my trifecta. I've watched Jaws at home. I've watched Jaws in the theater. I'm finally going to get to watch it at a drive-in. Downpour rain.
You sent me a picture. I didn't even know what you were looking at. I didn't know if that was brake lights in front of you. I didn't know if that was a screen.
No.
So blurry.
It was just constant downpour.
Brutal.
Super windy, like just storm out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. So I went back, managed to get my money back. We got to a movie theater that was like 15, 20 minutes away in time to see it. Sit down, start watching the movie, and I was wishing I watched it at home on Peacock.
Oh, really?
Because some asshole behind me, the way he was eating his popcorn.
Oh, it's the worst, right?
Like, I don't want to sound petty, but how wet can you eat popcorn?
Oh,
like,
that's disgusting.
It sounded like he was eating it out of a trough.
That's disgusting. Oh.
It was like slopping as he was eating. It was like...
That's fucking... Oh.
I like looked over at my wife and I'm like, I hope Michael Myers kills that guy. Jesus. It was so gross. Oh. And like any quiet, tense scene, like he had to shove a handful of popcorn in his mouth because we're like...
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Peacock, the way to go, man.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Hail Peacock.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we did. That's how we watch.
Yeah.
So right away, flashback.
Yeah. Super cool.
Looked amazing.
It did.
And I wrote down they must have used a filter. I looked it up and they did. They put on a filter. It looked like the original Halloween, just extended into it. Like, you know, you've seen it. They could have done this movie in 1978 without the filter, and it would have looked brand new.
Yeah.
This looked like a Blu-ray copy of Halloween deleted scenes.
Yep.
It was great.
I loved it. They even like went with the old school Michael Myers mask, and it looked so good.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I loved it.
Yeah. Now the first real thing I wrote here was I misheard right away. I thought that they went and made the mistake that I feel that Rob Zombie did, and that mistake is that they give Michael they gave him a very horrible upbringing.
Yeah.
Giving him the reason to turn into a serial killer. That's the stereotypical things. He tortures animals, he does. Now, I misheard, but the cop actually said, what, did he, or was he a kid who pulled wings off butterflies? And the other guy goes, not that I ever saw. See, I misheard that.
Yeah.
I thought that the line was like, he was a creepy kid. He pulled butterfly wings off. And I was like, you fucking motherfuckers. And then my wife's like, they didn't say that. And I actually, I checked it after and it was like, okay, he didn't.
No.
So I was
and
like,
then they even say, like, yeah, my mom felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Like, got me to go play with him and stuff.
And he makes a mention there, like, he didn't do anything creepy that I ever saw. He just stared out his sister's window.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of... But then we find out a lot later in the movie maybe what was going on there. So we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But that was my first note. The 1978 looked great.
Yeah.
The acting was all good. The characters that they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically the arrest and capture of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because last we see, he falls off the balcony, and he goes away, and then it kind of takes off from there. The cops are kind of hunting him down. We see him walking around a little bit, and it was cool.
Yeah,
very cool to see. So, they also mentioned the one thing that kind of threw me a little bit is that a cop got killed by Sheriff Hawkins, who's not sheriff at the time, Deputy Hawkins. He shot his friend or partner through the neck on accident.
Yeah.
But the little bit of a problem with that is they never mention that on, like, it never gets pinned to anybody in Halloween 2018. Do you know what I mean? They mention, like, Michael Myers killed 5 people that night, or
right.
has killed 5 people or whatever. But there's no mention of that, so it's a little strange. That's nitpicky.
Yeah, that's true. That's very nitpicky.
It's very nitpicky.
Because they even cover it up
yes,
in the movie.
They do.
They're like, okay.
They say, like, instead of you shot him, he tried to shoot Michael himself and his gun went off.
Yeah.
So it's explained, but there's just never a mention of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get why they did it, because if they did in Halloween 2018, if they mentioned something like that, people would be like, what the fuck what are they talking about?
Yeah.
And it would almost spoil this opening that they had.
Yeah, because when you watch that, then you're like, oh, okay,
yeah,
he shot
exactly.
himself.
Right. And I was a little worried that they were going to do a lot of flashback, but they didn't.
No.
It's a little bit in the beginning and a very, very little bit midway through.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, it works really well.
It does.
Yeah, then they... the whole scene with the house on fire, too, is crazy.
Yeah.
That comes after this.
For years, I was wondering, how is he going to get out of that? I almost complained a little. I did complain. That raging fire was just a little too big.
Yep.
In my opinion. How the hell is he going to escape? By the time they leave, that whole house is fucking up.
Yeah.
And then the fireman falls through the floor, and then the gun closet opened.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit. It's like, it's got cement back wall, and then, like, it would be like an oven in there, but you're not getting direct heat. It would just heat up in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Never crossed my mind.
I know.
Fucking genius. I was like, if they have him crawl out of some, like, or I read online, somebody was like, there could be a bathtub in there that he fills up and gets in. Does he?
Oh, that sounds very Michael Myers.
Exactly. So this way, I mean, it worked. I literally was like, that's fucking genius.
Yep.
Open it up, he climbs out, he fucks those firemen up.
Does he ever?
Brutal.
What do you think of John Wick Michael Myers?
Yeah, it's true. This is the highest body count almost in any horror movie ever.
I believe it. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's and it's very cool when he comes out of that house. The firemen had kind of started to get it under control, so it made enough for him to walk out.
Yeah.
And as he hits the porch, it just kind of engulfs back up behind him.
Yeah, and there's like water pouring off the roof.
Yeah.
And there's all the fire, and he's just standing there.
With that fucking hook thing, whatever the hell the fireman, it's like an pickaxe.
That scene gave me the same, like, fuck yeah, as when Captain America gets Thor's hammer.
Okay.
Like, I was like, holy shit, this is cool.
And the firemen are all like, they're like, it's essentially like, okay, let's go. One guy starts up a saw.
Yeah.
The other guy's like getting his axe ready. I would fucking they'd be like, hey, you, they'd look back. I'd be fucking, you see the heels of my feet as I gone. Fuck that.
My favorite was the guy with the water hose just starts spraying.
Yeah,
it's like
you might as
at
well
least aim for his head.
Yeah, spray his eyes, something. But yeah, he just sprays him, cools him down.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's like spray him in the nuts.
Yeah, it was very cool though. They mention later there's 11 first responders there, all of them slaughtered.
Yeah. It's such a crazy scene.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. So moving forward, this is very mob mentality movie.
Yeah, this is like Frankenstein.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, we get to see Tommy Jarvis from the Halloween one. Lindsay, she's back.
Yeah.
Tommy's played by Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah. Not
the kid who played him, but Lindsay is played by the same woman who played the girl.
Yeah, that's cool.
And same with what was her name? The nurse. She's back as well, who was with Loomis when Michael took their car.
Right.
So she's back.
Yeah.
And Lonnie, not played by the same guy, but we hear his name in the original, and he's back.
Yeah.
So they're kind of having their bar night, and it's at that point where they find out that Michael has escaped.
Yeah.
Like, it's, you got to remember, this is all the same night as not the first movie, but Halloween 2018. It's one long thing at this point.
Yeah.
It's still Halloween night, so.
Yeah. One of my little nitpicks there.
Okay.
I wish those, like, the survivors group kind of thing.
Right.
I wish they all just showed up separately and was kind of like, everybody comes here for that.
Right.
Because they just don't seem like a group of people that would hang out together.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I agree with that.
I would have rather they, hey, this is where we go.
Yeah, see each other once a year instead of a group that hangs out.
Yeah.
Because Lonnie and Tommy seem like they're cool. Like, they hang out.
Yeah.
Even though Lonnie was an asshole to Tommy when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He even mentions, I gave him a hard time, but, he's cool or whatever. But did you like Anthony Michael Hall's portrayal of...
I thought it was great.
Yeah, or his character, I guess. He's not really portraying Tommy because he's 40 years older. But,
that's right. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
He's so, he almost seemed like he should have been in, a Guy Ritchie movie, though, or something.
Right.
Like, the thick English accent.
Right, yeah.
Mean Street Hooligans or Green Street Hooligans or whatever or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so once they find out he's out, they kind of form... And they get other people. We actually see the nurse and doctor in Halloween 2018.
Right.
They're, when Michael's doing his killing spree on the street, they're going to their car, and he's like, I forgot my stethoscope. And he runs back into the house and comes back out.
Yeah.
So it's the same couple, and they kind of join, and they go around... Later on, they're like, anybody wants to fucking take this down back. It's like, oh boy.
I like that they do the I forgot my stethoscope line again.
Exactly, did it again. And that's the other thing is there's another escaped mental patient. Mm-hmm. Michael and one other person are the only two that aren't captured.
Yeah.
And we see on the TV at one scene that it's the guy with the long hair from the beginning of Halloween 2018 who's in the ward with him.
Right.
And when they're going out to their car, and she thinks Michael's in the back seat, and then the music starts playing, and it's that Figaro song.
Yeah.
And it's him. He's just crazy. He's so scared, and he's just trying. And it's kind of a horrible scene later on.
It is
in the hospital, and this is my least favorite part of the movie. Jumping ahead, when they think Michael's going to come back. Laurie and Michael don't share a scene in this whole movie.
No.
She's in the hospital the whole time. And they think he's going to come back for her the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that it's a complete coincidence that it was the doctor that drove Michael to Laurie's house in 2018.
Yeah.
He wasn't going there. He didn't know.
No.
And they don't know that. They think, he's coming to get you.
Yeah.
And when this poor guy shows up, this is a scene I didn't like, is like Tommy's getting the whole crowd going, and they're all like, take our town back, or whatever they're chanting.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Yeah. You should have drinking game while you're watching Halloween Kills, where every time you hear "Evil dies tonight," you take a drink.
You'd be dead.
You'd be dead. Alcohol poisoning. Yeah.
Now, the scene specifically that I don't like is there are doctors and nurses and shit that join this. I just don't buy that. No. I think that they should have kept the police and the doctors and nurses on one half trying to control the crowd.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Watching Karen get fucking thrown to the ground by a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I know.
When this is all over, your license is gone.
You're
fucked up.
Yeah.
I just didn't buy it.
No.
Bugged me.
Same. I found that scene drug on.
I did too.
For a long time.
In the chase scene, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just showing clip after clip of them running upstairs.
Yeah, that was the one point when you mentioned it went by quick. That was the one lull for me where it was like, this is going on for, it seems like 10, 15 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
But
it was also probably the part of the movie that freaked me out the most.
Okay.
Because I'm like, imagine that many people rioting or whatever inside a hospital. I was like, all that expensive equipment and shit. And there's needles and scalpels. And
everything.
It's like, you don't know who's going to get trampled and injured from stupid shit in a hospital.
Yeah. And so they end up cornering, Karen knows it's not Michael. She goes and she talks to the guy. She's like, I know, and tells him to lock the door. They fucking and he jumps out the window, and it's horrible. It's gruesome. He lands and his head's all opened up and his arms are broken and his legs are brutal.
Yeah, they give you the gore on that one.
Oh, for sure.
I want to jump back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Near the start of the movie, there's that old couple playing with the drone.
Right.
Got to give a shout out to them because they're hilarious.
Yeah.
He opens his door.
Yeah.
He slams it again. He's like, "There's a big fella with a monster mask on."
It was great.
They're like, "What does he want?" "I don't give a shit." So funny.
She, the woman, is the one who shows the reporters in 2018 Halloween the grave. I don't know if you remember that or not.
She is.
Yeah. So she shows the two podcasters.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, that's that woman. And it turns out she's like a funeral person because she has the hearse outside of her vehicle.
Yeah.
But yeah, brutal kill, severe overkill on the guy.
Yeah.
He bashes his head in a few times, and then he just starts stabbing him, grabbing knives off of that metallic block thing or that metal
they have a magnet strip, and he's just picking a knife, stabbing him.
Is it 5 or 6 times he fucking... And the guy's dead. I mean, he's laying there.
Yeah.
He's not reacting to being stabbed, so I assume he's dead.
Yeah. But I just took that as him trying to choose a knife that he wanted.
Maybe.
Again, he's like, no, not this one. Stabs it in the guy. Picks the next one.
It was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And then, he grabs a light bulb and jams it through her. Very, very violent.
Yeah. The movie gets its name, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's called Halloween Kills. And that's what he does.
Yes. Now, your thing about the Big and Little John, Big John.
Yeah.
Now, those two, they're living in the Michael Myers house. It's all been changed. You wouldn't even really know it. It took me a minute to realize what the hell it was.
Same.
Now, they get pranked by those kids, right?
Yeah.
Now, that scene was weird to me. One, because the guy was like, they say, my friend got candy from you and she choked on a razor blade or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he puts the bowl down and runs outside. The girl who was standing there could have just grabbed the bowl.
Yeah.
Instead, they do this whole elaborate thing where a third person then goes into the house, making us believe that maybe Michael's in there, and then and then they have this whole back and forth with the people they just robbed.
Yeah.
I found that weird, and it went on for 2-3 minutes where they were like, "Do you know whose house this is?" And they're like, "No."
Yeah.
It's like, why? What are you doing standing there? Just fucking run.
Yeah.
You got your candy, run. And I was very happy watching those three at the park.
Yeah.
We don't see their deaths, but we do see them sitting on the merry-go-round slaughtered.
Yeah.
Which was great.
One of my favorite parts of the movie, because they got the silver shamrock
They do.
masks, which ties in Halloween 3 into the same universe.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you get the pumpkin, the skeleton, and the witch, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I love it.
It was very cool.
And Jason Blum has said that he wants to do a trilogy based on Halloween 3 at some point.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Which would be so good.
Yeah.
Because
did you know, jumping off topic here,
Yeah.
but they bought The Exorcist, eh?
Yeah.
Like $400 million.
Yeah.
So they're doing a new trilogy on The Exorcist movies, direct sequel, very much like they did with Halloween.
Yeah.
So
I'm down for it.
yeah, fuck, man.
If
He's
it's
got the
anything
money.
like this,
Yeah.
like, go ahead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 3 kids were assholes. I'm glad they got their fucking... And again, more kills. The people in the car who are they're looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
Very violent. One of my favorite kills in the movie was the guy, the doctor, dressed up as the doctor. He gets stabbed through the eyeball, and he's still alive, kind of like twitching a little bit as he sits back in his seat. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very violent.
Oh, some people got stabbed in some weird spots in this movie.
Very much.
One guy gets stabbed in the armpit.
Oh. And then his eyes. That was Little John.
Yeah.
But it would have been Little John because he's shorter, I assume.
No, Big John's the little one.
Oh, okay.
That whole part was such a crazy, weird.
Yeah, we can jump to that now because I know as soon as he closed his door, I noticed he didn't lock it.
Yeah.
And he went to and the guy's like, "Did you lock the back door?" And he goes back and it's open.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck!" Like, could you imagine that? So they're going through their house and they're doing it like Marco Polo.
Yeah.
Like Marco Polo, he's going like Big John, Little John.
Yeah.
It's
so funny.
It's crazy. And yeah, the guy gets stabbed under the armpit, which would fucking kill.
Yeah.
Then Michael sticks his thumbs in his eyes and his fucking eyeballs popped out of his head.
Yeah.
You can actually see it. Like,
and not only does he just push in, it looks like when he's in there, then he pulls out to the sides. I've never seen that before.
I was half expecting, I'm not going to spoil this, but if you know, you know. Game of Thrones. That's what I was half expecting.
Pretty close.
So I'm glad we didn't get that because it would have been, too similar.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's even possible for somebody Michael's size, where the mountain guy
is a mountain.
Yeah. But very, very violent.
Yeah.
This one, in 2018 Halloween, there's the kill where he stomps the guy's head, and it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
This one had, I don't know if they were silly or not. Like the eyeballs popping out, that's cool and shit like that. But nothing seemed like, oh my god, in this one anyway.
Yeah, that I can think of.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is the kills. I mean, there's, I think 28. There may have been more. Mm-hmm. I've read somewhere that there's up to 35.
I can see that.
But I kind of lost count.
Yeah.
There was, after they mentioned I wrote down like firefighters ? I had no idea, and then they mention 11, and then you just find out like I think Michael's responsible for 28, but there's over 30 deaths. Like the guy jumping would count as one.
Someone getting shot in the neck.
That's another thing. You think they would have noticed it's not Michael Myers, being the fact that the guy looks like Danny DeVito? He's like 4'3". What are you doing?
I know.
Poor fucking guy.
This guy's not 7 feet tall.
No, he's just
He doesn't have a Halloween mask on. He's not walking.
Yeah.
Like
he literally looks like the Penguin from Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically all I have, other than my 2 ending things. So if you have anything else that you want to mention, I'll let you take over here.
What did you think of the Dr. Loomis?
Oh,
he looks great.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like Dr. Loomis from the original movie.
Very much so.
They just have a guy with prosthetics on.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
And I loved that they sort of put Tommy in the Dr. Loomis hype man role.
Right.
Because there's always the guy being like, Michael Myers is a fucking killer. Like, he's a monster. Like, he's the boogeyman. He's coming to get you. And it's always Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
In this one, it's Tommy. Mm-hmm. He's evil, like he's the boogeyman, on and on and on.
Yeah.
He filled that role, and I thought it was a pretty clever way to switch it up a bit.
Right.
Laurie didn't play a huge role in this one.
No, she's, like we said, she got stabbed. So she went into surgery in the movie, and it was a big cut.
Yeah.
And they staple her up, and she's kind of down and out.
Yeah.
Other than the rising mob scene, she kind of gets into it a little bit.
Yeah.
ends up kneeing a doctor in the balls and rips her fucking wound. You can just imagine if you're 4 hours out of surgery or whatever it's been.
You're throwing knees.
Throwing a knee, it's going to open that up.
Yeah.
So, and we should mention too, Sheriff Hawkins, who I for sure had written off.
Yeah, I thought
he got
dead.
stabbed in the neck and then run over.
Yeah.
And Cameron, who is Allison's boyfriend, ends up finding him, and he's still alive. And they take him in, and he's alive.
Yeah, it was funny. They start with Cameron, right? That's the very start of the movie?
I think so.
Yeah, I forgot all about him until he showed up on screen. I'm like, oh yeah, Cameron.
Yeah. See, now they had a deleted scene in Halloween 2018 where he gets arrested.
Oh, okay.
Outside of the party, outside of the Halloween thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they cut it, and it works now because he's outside and he sees Sheriff Hawkins laying in the street, runs over and helps him. Cameron, I imagined, was going to be more of a villain, more of a hated person. Instead, he kind of makes amends with Allison, and they kind of join together again.
Yeah, and I think it was smart making him be like, I'm going to help you, like with the cop right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, he's a dick.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes her phone and throws it in that shit,
Yeah.
and she can't, that they can't get in touch with her. And, this one, I mean, he's out with his father. They're looking for Michael with Allison, and it's just kind of a cool... I'm glad they brought him back.
Yeah.
Is that.
That's a good scene, too, where Allison and Cameron are at the house, and Lonnie go in to get Michael.
Yeah.
And then Cameron gets fucked up.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Like, just a brutal kill.
Yeah, it's ongoing. It's long-lasting.
Yeah, smashes his head through the railing of the thing, and then he's just up and down, up and down. Then walks by and snaps his neck.
Yeah.
And the music that plays there when Allison's like, you want me? Come and get me.
Right.
I was like, this sounds like Mortal Kombat or something. It's so cool.
Yeah. She had fallen down the stairs much like Jamie Lee falls down in the original. Hurts her leg. I didn't know what exactly happened. I think she may have hyperextended her knee.
Yeah.
It almost looked like it was bent the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't get up. She kind of stays down as mine towards her.
Yeah, you hear a loud snap when she's falling. I don't know if that's
maybe it broke.
Yeah.
Maybe she broke her leg, and that's what I saw. It was kind of twisted. But here's a funny thing. When Michael comes down the stairs and she's kind of taunting him, like, do it.
Yeah.
I unknowingly had my head turned like Michael fucking Myers. I literally snapped out of it because he turns his head to her.
Yeah.
And he's like they say in the past movies, like he's like a dog.
Yeah.
Like he turns his head like a dog does. And I was watching, and I looked afterwards, and I was like, I had my head turned. And once I realized I was doing it the entire fucking movie. Turning my head like a psychopath.
Great. I don't feel safe.
I know. It was crazy. And he ends up, standing over her and gets pitchforked by Karen, right? She takes the mask, which he feels weird without it, I guess, and she's fucking taunting him out there. We don't see him without the mask. It's funny because we know from Halloween 2018 we get the side profile of him a little bit, but they do a very good job of blurring it.
Yeah, I was like, they better not show his face.
I felt the exact same way.
Yeah, it's going to get nerdy here for a second.
Okay, let it.
But in pro wrestling,
whenever
there'd be masked wrestlers who wrestled with their mask on all their lives kind of thing, then they'd get to the US in like WWF or something and be like, okay, if you lose the mask.
Okay.
So then they'd end up losing the match and take their mask off. Then they're nobody.
Right.
Like no one associates with them anymore. That's not the character they were. Like you were the mask guy all along.
Yeah.
Now you're just a guy.
That makes sense, yeah.
And that's what popped into my head whenever they took the mask off. I was like, they better not show his face because it'll instantly take away how scary he is.
I agree with that.
Because you can't picture a face scary enough to compare to what Michael actually looks like.
Yeah, and I agree. And the mask in this, we never really talked about it, but it looks really good. Yeah. Equally as good as it did in the last one.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite.
Yeah?
I think so.
It is up there.
Is probably the best.
Yeah.
than this. Like, it looks so
like
good.
the whole left side of his face is burned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it looks real. Like, it looks like a burn victim.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with everything you just said. She pulls his mask off, and I was like, fuck. Because in the original one, he's in the insane asylum. We see, like I said, we see the wound in his neck and his eyes fucked up from her poking it with the coat hanger.
Yeah.
But you never see his face square.
Yeah.
You see that slight profile of the eye, and then that's it. And like this one, I was worried, and then it kind of showed her POV, and he was just nothing but a shape.
Yeah.
You couldn't even tell if he had a mask on.
Yeah.
So it was like perfect.
Yep.
So she runs, and this is another slight complaint of mine, but they kind of explain it, and I guess we'll talk about that now if you're good with that.
Yeah.
So she drops the mask, right? And again, she's gotcha. Like in the end of Halloween, when she shoots him from whimpering and gotcha, she does it again. She lured him into a fucking pit of angry mob.
Yeah.
Now he's there, and there's people there. There's people there with bats. They have knives. They have a gun. They have everything.
One lady,
the iron,
has a clothes iron.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
So funny.
Yeah, so they start beating. He puts his mask back on. He takes an unbelievable beating.
Yep.
And I complained at the end of Halloween 2018 with the fire. I was like, it's too big of a fire. I don't believe anybody can live it or survive it. And this one, I was like, there's just too many people. He gets too fucked up here.
Yeah.
How, and then we get this kind of prologue or whatever the hell it's called, dialogue from, is it Lori who's saying it? How?
Yeah, she's like narrating over the top of everything.
She's saying like the more he gets hit and beat, and it's like the stronger he gets. Yeah. So it's like almost
the more he kills, the more unstoppable.
It's the opposite of like a villain in a video game. When you're beating them and their power level's going down, they beat him and it's like his strength goes up. Yeah. Because he gets shot, he gets beat with bats, he's down. Yeah. And I'm like, how in the fuck I was literally like watching this on the edge of my seat. How are they going to do this? How are they going to do a Halloween Ends? We get this speech. Karen's back with her daughter, and it's like, it's over now. And then we get back to Michael, and that motherfucker gets up. Oh, and he puts a beating. He fucks everybody there up. Yeah. He cuts an Achilles heel. Can you remember seeing that? Yeah. And there's blood spraying, and he's slicing people, and he's beating Tommy. Tommy won't be in Halloween Ends, I guess, because he gets fucking caved in with a bat.
Oh, and there's some really nice shots there, too.
Very.
The black background with just Michael's mask.
Blood spraying.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Very cool. So I was thinking, my wife, I said we're after, like, they're kind of turning this into like a Jason Voorhees type thing where he just can't be beat. And I guess I'm okay with this. Like, he took he even got shot in the chest a few times, but he did that in the beginning, too. In Halloween 1, he gets shot 5 times by Loomis, but he's still walking around. So I guess it's kind of explained. Now, the end. Did you like that, where Karen's up in the bedroom where this whole thing started? She's looking out the window, and after he fucked everybody up, he's standing behind her.
I thought that was a little anticlimactic.
Okay.
Like, it was just kind of like, oh, and you're dead. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. He kills Karen, as far as we know. He stabbed her just like he stabbed his sister in Halloween 1. Now, do you know about the alternate ending?
To this one?
To this one.
No, but go ahead.
I don't know if they even shot it. This was just an idea that was pitched. Okay. So I'm going to read it to you. Or I'll give you the gist of it, and you can tell me, because I'm leaning towards, I think they maybe should have done this. But now there's also a slight spoiler here for Halloween Ends. Okay. So it's nothing big. I don't have to share it if you don't want me to.
Go for it.
Okay. So this ending that I'm going to talk about right now was not done because they didn't want this reason that I'm going to say. So, the ending was to have Michael kill Karen as he did, and then Karen's phone was going to ring. And it was going to be Lori calling her from the hospital. And Michael was going to pick the phone up, and all you'd hear is the breathing. Okay? And then there was a shot of Lori holding the knife walking out of the hospital.
Okay.
Okay? Now, the reason that they didn't shoot this was because Jason Blum or whoever, David Gordon Green, they didn't want people to expect that Halloween Ends is going to be the same night again.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know if going into Halloween Ends, if this is going to be November 1st, October 31st still, or if this is going to be October 31st, 2024.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's why they didn't shoot that. They didn't want to go into it with people being like, okay, this is going to be 3 movies that happen basically in one night.
Yeah.
So that's why they changed it, or changed their mind on it. I'm kind of glad that they did, although I would have liked to see Michael pick up the phone and have that breathing and have her be like, fuck.
Yeah,
like,
that would have been a good cutoff right there.
Yeah, to set up the third and final act.
Yeah.
But
and it's funny that you say that, because my wife had said last night, she's like, oh, so it's continuing, like the next one's going to be Halloween night still.
Right.
And I was like, well, maybe it's a year later.
Maybe.
So then they can explain why Lori is out of the hospital and healed up.
Exactly.
And ready to fight Michael.
Yeah.
And he's back on Halloween night kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that people I wasn't personally let down by not having them. I didn't even really notice that they didn't share a single scene together.
Not until you said it.
Yeah. It's one of those things that she was in the hospital the entire movie.
Yeah.
And he was fucking out murdering people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the third one, I think they're better off personally setting it up maybe a year or two, let him heal the hell up.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be bleeding. But I also said to my wife, remember in Halloween 2018, she blows 2 of his fingers off with the gun? Did you notice his fingers are taped?
Yeah.
So he does take care of himself.
Yep.
He's not just going to let his fingers bleed out. He grabs tape at some point and seals his wounds up.
Yeah.
So he is functional in like a first aid type thing.
Yeah, he has his basic first aid.
Exactly. But yeah, I think personally, let it wait a year, even 2, even 3, whatever the hell. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that it's happening. Like, it's already, they're done.
Yeah.
Like, it's ready.
I wish they'd just put it out.
Me too.
It's like, don't make us wait.
Back to back. We'd be great. Anyway,
Would.
this movie did very well in the box office.
Yeah.
I read last night they were projecting $52 million in theaters alone.
Yeah, last I had heard it was already at 50.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And that's not and I said to my wife, I went on Amazon. I pre-ordered it already, 4K. It's coming out February 1st, 4K.
Ooh, that's soon.
You do the pre-order. If it drops in price at all, you get it for the lowest price.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get it anyway. I've got it ordered.
Nice.
February 1st, I'll watch it again. And yeah, I'm excited.
You know what's crazy? I've been on the internet quite a bit, as one is.
Yes.
A lot of people hate this movie.
They sure do.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I find a lot of people are just middle of the road with it. They're kind of like, it's okay, you know. It's filler is what they're calling it.
Well, it definitely feels like the middle part of a story.
Yeah, it does, and that's what it is.
Yeah, it is. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were expecting.
No.
Like,
they could have cut this movie out and done just Halloween Ends, and we could have had one less movie.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they put this one in there. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I had a good time watching it. I was laughing a lot. The scene with the nurse after her husband got the knife in the eye, and she's got the gun, and she's just shooting the car, and he kicks the car door, and it swings again, and she shoots herself.
That was great.
I was fucking howling.
The best part of that is she's like, give me the gun, you don't know how to shoot that thing, and then she's like shooting all over the place.
Oh, it was very good. There were interesting kills. It was a fun watch.
Yeah. It explains Michael Myers more, like, it gives him that supernatural feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
they kind of set up like this guy is a strong guy.
What I like about that is everyone on the internet that's like, oh, Jason Voorhees would definitely beat Michael Myers.
Right.
Like, not now, bitches.
Yeah. He's got that fucking ability.
My boy Michael's coming for you.
Classic.
Oh, they should do that movie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It would.
Yeah, I'm happy it made money. I'm always happy anytime a bigger horror movie makes money because it just means more.
Yep.
They're gonna take that and crazy. They didn't even release this, and they bought The Exorcist. So what can they buy with their money now?
That's right.
Anything is fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it.
Me too.
So yeah, that's. I don't have anything else. You want to get on to ratings and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you have a rating for it?
Yeah, I think ratings is. I will say, it wasn't super scary.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing.
There's lots of kills and stuff, but it's not a scary horror movie.
No, definitely not.
Like, it's gory, but as far as like tension and stuff, there's not a whole lot.
No, there's no. They don't even think they tried for many jump scares or anything.
No,
it was just like a get the job done, fucking people up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. No tension at all, really.
And one other thing I'll mention is, for a split second, you know how in 2018 where you're kind of like, oh, maybe Allison's gonna be a killer.
Yes.
In this, there was a scene where she pulls the knife out of Big John or Little John. I think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
She like pulls the butcher knife out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now she has the knife. And she's pissed off at her boyfriend.
Right.
I'm like, is she going to fucking kill him?
Yeah.
And then in my head, I was like, maybe they are going to kill Michael Myers in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe she's going to be in the third one.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, that's crazy. But like, just for a minute in my head, I was like, holy shit, maybe that's where they're going.
I didn't even think of that. But now that you're saying that, I can see what you were thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they didn't do that.
Me too.
Oh.
But like when she pulled the knife out,
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck.
And that was another thing I'll just mention right now because you Big John and Little John, Michael put them in the position that they were in the picture. Did you notice that?
No.
There's a picture of them and Little John's laying on Big John's lap with like his head on his lap.
Okay.
Michael moved them in that fucking position of the picture. And it was like, what is going on here? He
has a sick sense of humor.
Yeah, very.
That's wonderful.
Very weird. But I mean, in Halloween 2018, he sent the cops to the house. The one had his fucking whole head scooped out and a flashlight rammed in there to make it look like a man-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Awful. But yeah, do you have a favorite or least favorite kill? I had nothing standing out as really bad kill. There were a few that happened off screen that you could mention, but
yeah.
My favorite, personally, like I said, I like when he fucking stabbed that guy in the eye.
Oh,
my favorite.
I don't know if I have just one.
Okay.
Like, there's that many in this movie.
There's a lot.
When he saws the firefighter's face with the great big saw.
It sounded cool, looked cool.
The stabbing in the neck with the light tube.
Right.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and the overkill of her poor husband.
Yeah, just stabbing her. Cameron.
Oh, yeah, that was...
beats the life out of him.
God, so many.
The eyes.
Yeah, the eyes.
The eyes. Like, there's just kill after kill after kill. Yeah. I like... Those are the ones that stand out.
You mentioned enough. That's good. Yeah, and like we said, there's nothing that made us jump or anything, so it wasn't that type of movie.
No.
But on to ratings...
Yeah. Actually, there was one thing that made me jump in this one. I forget who it is that's going to the front door. It might have been Lonnie. And it's kind of like tense and quiet, and then he like knocks on the door.
Okay.
But just from the angle that he was knocking, it looked like someone was coming over the top.
Oh,
and
shit.
then it hit the door. I kind of jumped back. Just because I was really loud in the theater.
Right.
But other than that, no. And
I'm sorry to do this again, but we got to jump because at the beginning I had mentioned that the cop had said he just stared at him or stared out out his sister's window.
Oh, right.
And we find out that maybe he was not looking out the window and that he was looking at himself in the reflection. This movie has a lot about mirrors and because even at the end when Karen's standing at the window, we can see herself. It's like she's looking at herself. She's not looking out.
Yeah.
Same with Sheriff Hawkins at the beginning. He stands, or the other guy standing in the footprints that are there, and all he sees is himself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool little thing. Like, he wasn't just a creepy kid staring out the window. He was a creepy kid staring at like a reflection of himself, like, what the fuck is wrong with me, almost.
Yeah.
Like, knowing at that young age, obviously, because he fucking killed his sister. But,
yeah. And they even show like a quick flash of like little Michael standing in the window at one point in the clown costume.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a fun time.
Me too. What do you think of them completely cutting out that Michael is hunting Laurie, though?
I was okay with that because they mentioned in 2018 Halloween that, like, wasn't it his sister? And she's like, no, that was just made up. And that's obviously the other movies that we were supposed to forget about. So there's no real reason for him, unless she's the one that got away.
Yeah.
However, if you pay attention in Halloween 2018, he's not going for her. He's just going to fuck whoever up he can. The doctor starts driving him there and gets him to her house. Because he wanted to see him with this thing. Yeah. So I was okay with it. I like the way that they did it. I think her hunting him now is more exciting. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I think
it's set up in the end. Like I say, I imagine that they're going to share scenes together now. I mean, they did a whole movie without one. So I think that they're going to have their final...
That was the build-up.
Yeah.
That's like the weigh-ins and the stare down.
Exactly.
Now you get the real...
Yeah.
Go home.
I that's my thought on it. What do you agree, or?
Yeah, I think they figured it out good enough that it's like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Ratings.
Okay, so I didn't like this as much as Halloween 2018.
I would agree,
but it's right there. I give this a 7.5.
Okay,
out of 10.
Yep.
So
I'm going with an 8.
Okay, I have. On second viewing, this will probably go up to an 8 for me.
Yeah.
Or it may stay at 7. It's right there.
It'll probably go up because you'll probably watch it and then notice more things.
Exactly.
You're like,
hey, I didn't notice that. That's fucking... And one thing that I did notice that I don't know many people did, Big John, Little John, they're on a park bench. Their picture outside of the hospital, I believe, when the crowd's gathering out there.
Yeah.
They're either realtors, travel agents, or lawyers or something, you know, like Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
It says Big, and then there's a guy sitting, and then at the end you see John. So it obviously says Big John, Little John, and they're two pictures.
That's awesome.
So I don't know what they did. I'm assuming real estate because they're living in his house, and they just kind of had that vibe of like the house was nice, you know, they decorated, you know, maybe one's a real estate agent, the other one designs home. Exactly. So that's what fun little watch for it when you watch it again.
Yeah. But for a horror movie, like this is filled with so much fan service and stuff. There's just so much to catch.
For sure.
And continuation from other movies and stuff. Like it's just so much fun.
It was a good watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's we're all good then.
Yeah.
So we're not doing Marvel talk.
No.
Today. Instead, there is a rapper out there.
Oh, what?
Yeah, believe it or not, there's one guy. His name is Poltergeist OD on Instagram. Now, this guy, I believe he lives in Canada. I think he lives in Edmonton.
Yep, Canadian.
He has a Goosebumps tattoo on his neck, which is fucking awesome.
Yep.
He had the idea to come up with rap music and horror movies.
Yeah.
And he's done a bunch of them. You can check him out on YouTube, Poltergeist OD.
Yep.
He's got Pumpkinhead. He's got Ghostface. He's got
Ghostface
Chucky.
is so good.
So good.
I love that one.
His latest one that he put out is Leatherface, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Buy it. Spotify, iTunes, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
But the more you get, the more we're going to get. You know, the more support this guy gets, we'll get more.
Yeah.
So, Michael, his song about, obviously, Halloween, we're going to get to play a clip of it here. It's amazing. So, follow him on Instagram, Poltergeist_OD. That's POLTERGEIST_OD. Subscribe to YouTube, Poltergeist OD, everywhere.
Yep. I love whenever he sends a message. You'd be like, I got a new song out. I'm like, yes.
I know.
Yes. I can't wait.
So yeah, check him out. YouTube. This is some of his song, Michael.
Michael Myers, walking quicker than you can cycle tires, bite the pliers, bitch, just like after, just chapter after chapter after chapter. Massacre, make the Ripper look like an amateur ambassador of the slashers. Michael.